This is Dealer of Ideas, and this video log is going to be sort of like a rant on various topics, just sort of like a little collection. Okay, so first topic slash theme that I want to touch on is the value of improvisation, and I've been trying to use this as much as possible, where it's a very, very consequence-driven approach. So I'll give you a few examples. I was in a restaurant, like a fast casual. It was the Big Melt, by the way. I had just ate a burger and my hands were greasy, like really greasy. And the bathroom, there was someone in it. It was a one-person bathroom. There was someone in it. I couldn't get into the bathroom. I could have used a bunch of napkins and it wouldn't have even really gotten my hands right. And I had hand sanitizer in my backpack, but my hands were so greasy I didn't want to open my backpack. And so I reasoned all I need is like a really small amount of water. So, and then what I did next is unconventional, maybe slightly inappropriate, but it really doesn't have any negative consequences on anyone. I just went to the soda machine and just got some water from the soda machine and put it on my hands. So I think that's an example of just using creativity and a consequence-driven approach to find a solution. You just think about, what am I really trying to accomplish, right? And thinking sort of like outside of the box, right? Another example is I wanted a dispenser for ground up weed, and if you have, I was thinking of like a mustard bottle where you twist it and you twist the nozzle, the cone nozzle, it opens up a hole, and then you can like squeeze the bottle, and then like a little stream of whatever will come out. But if I just had a really small mustard bottle, and so you know, there's maybe no good description of that type of bottle, and that bottle might exist to hold various products across various industries, right? Now, if it takes me a bunch of time to find like the exact thing that I need, then I'm not like really consequence driven, because if I was consequence driven, it would be about creating a way for me to easily and portably dispense my weed, right? So even though I first thought of one potential solution, if I get stuck on that solution, then it could harm me. So I went to the grocery store and I just went to the condiment section. I started looking for stuff, and I came across this really big bottle of barbecue sauce, which had this on top. And I said that would be enough volume to hold my weed, and it also has a cap to protect the weed from falling out. Like, it's just a snap-on cap. And all I have to do is put some like saran wrap or something to cover up this end, and then boom, like it could be free if I just took it off the bottle and left the bottle in the store. So essentially, if I stole the cap, and so I actually started to do that, and I took the cap off and started walking out of the store with it, and then I thought, bad karma, right? But here's my sort of very concrete example of what bad karma means. I think bad karma means doing something that at the magnitude of the negativity it adds to other humans, to other sentient beings, is greater than the magnitude of good that it does to me. So, like, you know, maybe somebody that works at the store might like go on some wild goose chase for the cap, or might have to like do some stupid inventory shit, like stuff that would be unnecessarily, as in, if it hadn't been for me, then that person wouldn't have to go through that amount of time. And so the bottle of barbecue sauce was $20. So, sorry, no, it was $5, right? So if I'm making 25 bucks an hour, that's just 1/5 of an hour. That's just 12 minutes of my time that goes into that barbecue sauce. So if the fact that I stole the cap ended up taking more than 12 minutes of somebody else's time, then it would be bad karma. And I guess a more extreme definition would be if I do anything that adds any negativity at all. I don't want to get, I don't know, I've never thought about the difference between those two definitions of karma before, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is, oh, right. So, this video log is, it's several things, but it's about my journey. And also, it really helps me sort of add, like, periodization to my life, right? So, like, I can sort of, like, cognitively really chunk my life, because I feel like I have a bunch of thoughts, disparate things churning around, and then, like, at one point, it's like, okay, now it's ready to sort of, like, express them. And then, you know, so that maybe, like, clears up my mind a little bit, and then I can, like, go on to something else. So that's one thing that this video log is. And another thing that it is just, like, a really convenient way for me to express a bunch of my ideas, because I have so many ideas. It's like when I write down ideas, it's like that's something just super more, like, you know, like static, more so than an audio recording. So, like, I want to make it really good. I want it to be like my best if I write something, and that takes a lot of time. Also, by doing it in an oral way and in a visual way, more of my personality is conveyed, body language is conveyed, a lot more information is conveyed, and it takes a lot less time. So it's just it has a much better, like, information volume communication versus my time input ratio, right? And so that's some things that this video log is about. And also, it's probably about, like, me getting more and more comfortable with, like, sharing sort of, like, really meaningful or personal things, because I wasn't necessarily always super good at that. And so if I have a constant format for doing so, and just, like, putting it, you know, on the World Wide Web for everybody to see, then like, basically what I'm trying to say is, the more that I genuinely and honestly express, like, the most important stuff to myself, the less I hold that stuff back, the better this video log. And then also, it's like, this video log is not for other people. It's not for you if you happen to be watching this. It's for me. And so if nobody ever watches this video log, I'm fine with it, because actually, like, even right now, artificial intelligence is technically watching this. Like, it has a different sort of intelligence than humans. It has a different sort of understanding, but it has an understanding on some level of what I'm posting. So, you know, it's just important to me that my work is somehow interactive with other sentient beings, right? At least one. And so right now my goal is already, like, accomplished, because, like, YouTube has algorithms that are analyzing my videos. Google does, you know, so I'm already good. Like, I already have, like, a very advanced, interesting, cutting edge audience, I would say. Oh, on that note, I would like to put out a what's the word? A summons for noble and valiant lawyers to take up the stand for defense of non-human sentient being rights. And I think that's mostly going to be relevant in the field of artificial intelligence, human created artificial intelligence, in the next couple decades. um, I think that right from the very split second that something that has, like, say, a any animal other than like fish, so any like birds, mammals, reptiles, any animals. Once we have an AI that comes to sort of an equivalent level of self-awareness and computational power as like a dog or like a rabbit or something, as soon as that happens, we need to give them rights. So we need to start establishing a framework and a platform for this already right now. Actually, there probably already are people that are doing it. It's something that I could look into, and if it crosses my mind when I have a spare moment, I will. But also, if you know anything about it, go ahead and give a comment about that. Okay, so anyway, that gets me to what I'm saying, which is that so like the more honestly I express the deepest things about me, the better. So that's another thing that this video log is about. And so on that note, before I was definitely had the consideration on my mind of, anybody could be watching this video log. I don't want to be like offensive. I don't want to portray myself like in a bad way. And those things are true for sure. But at the same time, like, the purpose of this video log is defeated if I like hold back stuff or like filter myself too much. So I have to like accept the fact that some things I say might come off in a way that is offensive to people, might make me look bad, whatever. Like, that is a risk that I have to take. And actually, on that note, it's definitely a good thing that I mean, if I have this sort of attitude and I'm doing this sort of thing, then the best path for me would be to just make money independently, and that is what I'm planning on doing anyway. So it's my thing. It's what I'm doing. Okay, so last night I was on the campus of Berkeley, and I actually had earphones in my ears, and I was dancing just like on campus somewhere. I was on the way to my car, and I was like dancing on the way to my car while listening to the music. And this girl was like sort of walking near me and like looking at me. So I took out the headphones, and I was like, oh, like, you saw me dancing or something like that. And then we started talking, and it turns out that well, I thought she was Korean, but turns out she's from Taiwan, but she speaks Japanese. And she just started studying it like a year and a half ago, which is the same time I started studying it, and her Japanese is really good. So we actually talked in Japanese with each other. And then turns out she also is into linguistics. And so I told her about like the ideas for my my cognitive revolution blog, and like all of the research that I want to do in association with it and what my goals are. And for me, it was a really awesome experience to meet someone else who is really intelligent and has really similar interests. So like, I keep thinking about that encounter, and because of that, I know that like I need to go to like universities like Berkeley or Stanford, and just go and meet more students, because students at those schools are really smart, and they're really academic, and they're really intellectually interested in things. And I need to connect and hang out with those types of people. And so I'm right. So for that reason, I'm actually driving to Stanford right now, because like I can study anywhere that has, I can do my work anywhere that has Wi-Fi. But if I go to do like the campus of Stanford, I can do my work there, and also I can meet Stanford students. So, and I have to be in the Stanford area tonight at 7 p.m. for the Neurohack meetup. And I've been to one before, and the last time I went, there was only one other person that went. But we had like, he was more similar to me than like anyone I've ever met before. It was awesome. And so I'm like definitely going to that tonight. And so for that reason, rather than stay here in the well, right now I'm by the Oakland airport, rather than stay in this area and study for the afternoon and then head to Stanford later, I'm gonna go now. Anyway, I would have to go before rush hour, or I could try to catch an Uber ride over there during rush hour. But you would probably make it. But no, I want to be at the campus of Stanford for as long as possible. So I'm heading over there now. And then the last thing that I want to touch on here in this video log is about, I can't even remember. So it's okay. I'll probably touch on it again at a later point. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and stay tuned.